Alrighty, today is the day the Hilux gets new front leaf springs. So these ones are flat as you can tell. There's not much curvature to them, so we got fresh ones going in there. I've measured all the heights and all that, so we can see the difference. But yeah, it's going to be a mission. What time is it? It is, I know you can't tell, it's basically midday, 12 o'clock. Let's see how long it takes to change out the front leaf springs. I'm aiming for, max be done by 5. Let's try and aim for that, if everything goes well. So yeah, let's get stuck into it. First off, before I change anything, I haven't bought new shocks, but the shocks have been replaced, and hopefully these shocks have enough travel to compensate for the extra height, and hopefully they don't, like bottom out and don't work. So we've got to check that first. If that clears, then we should be sweet. Alrighty, I pulled out the shock and it's going to work. There's enough travel in it that it won't be too short, so it's just long enough. That gives us the all clear to start ripping out little leaf springs, and we'll do side at a time. We start with this side and then go and do the other side. So we got all the parts laid out here. We got all new U-bolts, they're all fresh. New pins for the front. We've got rear pins that are being used, but they're greasable, so they came with the rear leaves, so I'm going to reuse those since they're not too bad. Front leaf springs and rear leaf springs out of an Ellen 106. Fresh steering dampener and torque rod. All new bushings, so this thing is going to be, she's going to be good. And she'll lift the front as well, because as you can see out of the photos and whatnot, those springs are flat. So this little bit of curvature will treat her well. But yeah, this is going to be good. So we've finally gotten that leaf spring out, and I've just got to clean up where it goes onto the axle, pull out the old pin back there, put new bushings in, put a new pin. Here's the old pin here, all crusty in that. Yeah, get new U-bolts, chuck it all in. We're doing pretty good for time. What was it? Basically 2 o'clock, so 2 hours in, not bad. So I'm guessing the other side, if it's the same on the other side, struggle wise, we're gonna reach our goal of 5 o'clock. But yeah, we're going well. So we got the leaf spring pin here, and these nuts come undone where the grease nipple is in there. And to tighten those up, it says to tighten them to 85 foot-pounds. So that's what we're going to do. I've been taking my time and I've gotten everything ready to put in. So those are greased. I've torqued up that nut there. Bushes are in, the leaf springs. Cleaned up the bump stop and the bottom plate there. Got all new, the U-bolts ready to go. That one's greased and torqued up. Bushes are in the frame there. Cleaned up where it goes on the axle. And yeah, it's time to put that in there. And this is exciting, I like this.
Never over here at 997 Bridge FM. And good afternoon, if you've just joined us home. Like to know more about this one, 1-800-826-166. And of course, they're all loaded up onto the 997fm.com.au community service announcement page. Check that out. While you're there, you might want to become a member.
No crush washers. Who put the jack here? One of the most inconvenient sport, mate. I've gotten the leaf spring in, gotten it all sorted out. She's all good there. I was struggling a bit because the bushing popped out and I had to put a nut on it and wind it back in. That's all sorted. U-bolts are in, but they're not tight yet. Don't worry, I haven't tightened them crazy. Finally got that lined up. That was a bit messing around. But time to do it all again on the other side. I don't think we're going to make it to 5 o'clock. It is 4:11. So, yeah, that's not going to happen. So we're doing this in the dark probably. Because the old sun's disappearing quick. But yeah, I won't really film the other side since it's the same as this one, but we'll get stuck into it. So this is a comparison between the two leaf springs. So these are the original ones, of course, and then these are the ones I'm putting in. So it'll definitely give me a bit more of lift and hopefully not be as flat. Like they can be a little bit flat, but as long as they're not going inverted, that's all that matters really. But yeah, that's a crazy difference. Alright, we got the leaf spring ready to go. All the U-bolts and that, all the pins are greased up, all the bushes are greased up. The axle's all cleaned up where it sits. And then just got to chuck it in there and hope it's not much of a struggle with the steering arm in the way, but we'll be able to find out. So the only real issue I have here is this shock is just that little bit too short. Like it is longer than stock, but if you look there, that's it. That's the diff. The shock fully extended out. The diff has a lot more droop. Like it's on the jack at the moment, and I could drop it some more. But if I drop it some more, the brake line will probably rip off. So we can't do that. But since this will limit the amount of droop the diff has, it will stop that from ripping off, which means I'll have less flex if I want to flex it up. But driving around town, this is fine, but if I want more flex, I'll have to get a bigger shock so I can get more droop out of the spring, and once I get more droop, the brake line will probably wreck itself, so I need extended brake lines then. That's the only real issue holding us up, besides torque rod. That's another, we'll get to that soon. But yeah, that's the only thing I've noticed really. But driving around town, this shock will do. So the torque rod situation I've got going on here is the bolt that's in there, I'm pretty sure is seized in the metal sleeve in the rubber. So that metal sleeve, that bolt is seized in there. So when I do spin it, it's just the metal sleeve spinning in the rubber bush there. So I'm going to cut it out. I've managed to find a bolt that's long. Well, it's too long, but it is the same diameter as what I need, so that will get me out of trouble for now until I find a longer one. Here's the adjustable torque arm rod, so that one's going to go in there. Just got to cut that one out and find a lot of spaces to compensate for that length. So yeah, cut her out and hope for the best. Sorry to the neighbours in advance, I'm better start up the grinder. So we've gotten that out finally. As you can see, she's rusted in there. And yeah, that was a pain in the ass. Pain in the ass. Would not do it again. It's a no from me. So for the torque rod, I've gotten it cut out and up in there. And for the spacer I've used, it's kind of hard to see, but I've used the leaf spring bushing, just the rubber one as a spacer. Yeah, it's in there. It's good. So that's in there. I just got to wait till all the weights on the wheels. Once I get the wheels on, then I can adjust it to how I want, or how it needs to be, and then bolt it up in there. But one more thing to do is change out that steering dampener, and then we can go from there. It is cold. It is 13 degrees. It feels like 9. My hands are freezing, so let's just get on with it. So this thing is about to be put down on its wheels for the very first time. I am cold as it is hurting to be out here, but better put it down. Once I put it down, torque all the bolts up, put that torque rod up in there, and then we're done. I've I don't know what I was thinking. 5 o'clock, be done by this. What time is it? It is 10:13, and I started at 12 o'clock today. So yeah, this is gonna be good. Oh yeah. Oh, now that is tough. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Yeah, look at this. Mate, she's a monster truck now. Look at that. Leaf springs that aren't flat. Oh, mate. This is what we're talking about here. Yeah, you can't see on this side, but yeah, mate. Oh, look at that. Look at this. Oh. Alright, all the struggling and the cold has been worth it. Just torque up everything, put the front sway bar, torque rod in, and then call it a night. Nah, this is sick. I like that. Alright, today's finally the day we're going to replace these rear leaf springs. We've already done the front, so it's the same process. So we're going to keep it nice and simple, really. Just going to film all the important parts. These are the new ones. Getting chucked in, all new rubber bushes and that there. Fresh U-bolts, and for all the spring pins, I've got them over here, all painted up, ready to go. And they're greaseable ones as well, so that is a bonus. Got those ready to go. Just got to rattle off all the bolts and that, and then we should be sweet. So we got that spring out in record timing. Yeah, there's not much to see really. That pin surprisingly came out very well. This one's a bit stuck in there, but that's alright. Got all the parts ready to go, ready to chuck in for the right hand side. Just got to put them in the bushings and the leaf springs, and then once that's in, you can slide it up underneath there, grease it, tighten it down, and then get on with the other side and do it all again. Skipping ahead now, and it's the next day. I didn't film much because I wanted to get it just done and out of the way, but leaf springs are in. We are loving it. I'm not too keen on this angle here since it's vertical, but it rides no different. It is probably smoother actually, but hopefully that doesn't become a problem in the future, but we'll wait and see. Yeah, I'm just glad it's all in, and it's actually sitting level, when before the front was sitting a little higher than the back, since, you know, we chucked front springs in that, and then the back, you know, we need the back spring, so she's nice and level, which is good. I was scared it was going to be too high at the back, and then, you know, had to chuck the old springs back in, but it's sitting well. Took it for a test drive last night, and it seems to be fine. No weird noises, which is good. But yeah, I'm thoroughly happy with that. I'll say that's a job well done right there. Alrighty, here's a update on how the Hilux is riding. It's been 9 months since I've fitted leaf springs to it, and yeah, rides perfectly. It's starting to sag on this side because of the toolbox, so I might have to shift it back to this side, but this side also has the fuel tank, so a bit of a dilemma there. But the only things I've changed or added is that I've gotten rid of those blue shocks and got proper EFS shocks in the front now. And the rear shocks, they were a bit, they didn't travel as much. Yeah, the rear shocks didn't travel as much, so every time I would hit a speed bump, the shock would bottom out and then make this terrible jolting sound. So I've taken these Old Man Emu ones out of another Hilux that I have. They're a bit shorty, but they do the trick, and they travel a bit further than the other ones, which is what we want. So every time I go over a speed bump, it doesn't jolt and feel like the car's going to brake on you. But yeah, this shackle angle's still pretty much vertical. Probably a bit more vertical on this side since there's no weight, not as much weight. Yeah, there you go. Just shows how heavy that damn toolbox is. But yeah, other than that, riding absolutely fine. Haven't really taken it off-road besides the beach. Don't really flex this thing up as much. I just drive to work every day, so yeah, it treats me well. So yeah, that's just a quick little update. So in the end, I'm pretty happy with the end results on the leaf springs, considering most of them were second-hand parts besides the shackles, the bushes, the torque rod up there, and the steering dampener. The rest was all Facebook Marketplace special, like the shocks, the springs, and all that. So that is pretty good. Saved a bit of money there. But yeah, all around pretty happy. Stay tuned, because got big news coming ahead. We got another Hilux to add to the collection that you'll see soon. So if you've seen my Instagram, you would have seen it, but hasn't been shown here on YouTube, and you might have seen it in the background of this video. So stay tuned for that one.